Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's a recording of a class given in Los Angeles in 1973 by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Canto 1, Chapter 15, Text 25 and 26. Without further ado, we'll start the class. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jalokasam Jale Yadvan Mahanto Adanti Aniyasa Durbalan Balino Rajan Mahanto Balino Mitaha Evam Balishtar Yadubhir Mahadbhir Itaran Vibhu Yadun Yadhubhir Anyonyam Bhu Bharan Sanjahara Ha Jalokasam Jale Yadvan Jalokasam Jale Yadvan Mahando Dantyaniyasa Durbalan Balino Rajan Mahando Balino Mita Evang Balishtai Yadhubhir Mahadbhir Itaran Vibhu Yadun Yadubhir Anyonyam Bhubharan Sanjaharaha Jalokasang Jale Yadvan Mahanto Dantyaniyasa Durbalan Balino Rajan Mahanto Balino Mitha Evang Balishtai Yadhubhir Mahadbhir Itaran Vibhu Yadun Yadubhir Anyonyam Bhubharan sanjaharaha Jalokasang jale yadvan Mahando dantyoniyasa Durbalan balino rajan Mahando balino mita Evang balishtai yadupir Mahadbir itoran vibhu Yadun yadubir anyonyam Bhubaran sanjaharaha Jalokasam of the aquatics. Jole in the water. Yadavat as it is. Mahantaha the larger one. Adanti swallows. Oniyasaha smaller ones. Durbalan the weak. Balinaha the stronger. Rajan O king. Mahantaha the strongest. Balinaha less strong. Mitaha in a duel. Evam thus balishtai by the strongest. Yadupi by the descendants of Yadu. Mahadbhi one who has greater strength. Itoran the common ones. Vibhu the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yadun all the Yadus. Yadubhi by the Yadus. Anyonyam among one another. Bhubharan the burden of the world. Sangjahara has unloaded. Ha in the past. Translation. O king, as in the ocean the bigger and stronger aquatics swallow up the smaller and weaker ones, so also the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to lighten the burden of the earth, has engaged the stronger Yadu to kill the weaker and the bigger Yadu to kill the smaller.
This is the theory of struggle for existence and survival of the fittest. The law of nature is like that the stronger overpowers the weaker. The stronger overpowers the weaker. In another place it is stated, ahastani sahastanam apadani chatuspadam nunam mahatang tatra jiva jivasya jivanam. The living entity, they live by eating another living entity. What is that? Ahastani sahastana. Sahastana means those who are endowed with hand. That means man form, human form. They have got hands. So those who have no hands, just like the animals, they have got legs. They have no hand. So, ahastani, those who have no hands, they are food for the animal with hands. Mind that, animal. Those animal with hands, they're animal, those are eating. another animal, they are not human being. Although they have got the form of human being, they are not considered human being. Human being means when he is civilized, cultured, and then he is human being. If he is not civilized, he is not cultured, simply having two hands, he is animal. So that culture begins, civilized, in the Aryan families. Therefore they are called Aryans, advanced. Aryan means advanced. People want to group themselves in the Aryan family. Just like Hitler, he declared himself only, the Germans are only Aryans, and Jews are not Aryans, like that. You can manufacture. But real Aryan means one who is advanced in spiritual consciousness. He is Aryan. Not a class of men. Aryan means he is advanced in spiritual consciousness. The Aryan civilization is so eulogized because in the Aryan civilization there was Vedic culture. That is Aryan. Otherwise, ahastani sahastanam, that is, apadani chaduspadam. This is going on, struggle for existence. In the primitive age, that human being, so-called human being, naked in the jungle, eating animals. The animals have no legs. The Darwin's theory is that there was no civilized man, but gradually it has developed. It is not very clearly explained. He does not know what is the evolution. Evolution means to become civilized. That is evolution. Or to advance in Krishna consciousness. That is evolution. So, this is the law of nature, that the weaker section is devoured by the stronger section. So here it is said, Jalokasang jale jadvat. In the water, there are so many aquatic animals. The struggle is going on. The stronger fish eating the weaker fish. This is going on. That is the law of nature. Therefore, meat eaters, so long they are like animals, they can go on with this nature's law. You are man, you are stronger, therefore weaker animal, cows and goats, you slaughter them. They are stronger bodily, but they have no intelligence. Man has got intelligence. If you misuse your intelligence in that way, you can do that. That is nature's law. But human being means culture, advanced in spiritual consciousness. That is human. So this consciousness is developing gradually. So unless you come to this platform, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvannam maya system gunakarma vibhagasa. Then you must divide the society. Amongst the animals, there is no division. Everyone is on the same status. No. Because the aim is how to develop Krishna consciousness. Therefore, there must be some system. So that system, unless one comes to the platform of this Varnashram Dharma, 4 divisions, social divisions and 4 spiritual divisions, and those divisions are made by Krishna himself. Maya system, he says, that is natural, but by such institution we can gradually understand what is the aim of life. Varnasamacharavata purushena parapuman Vishnu aradhate pumsang nanna tatto sukaranam. What is the aim of life? The aim of life is that we are now detached from God. This is our position. Material life means detached from God, detached from Krishna. So this detachment is the cause of suffering. Mukho bahu urupadebhya purushasya asamaishaha jagnire chattara varna vipradaya gunat prithak. We are different parts and parcels of Krishna, God. So we must act accordingly. Just like my hand is there. If the hand is in proper place, you can act nicely. But if I cut the leg and make hand, or hand make the leg, then it is all lost. All lost. One must act according to his qualification. According to that qualification, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are described in the Bhagavad Gita. This Brahmana means these are the symptoms. Sattva samadama titikha arjava jnanam vijnanam astikam brahma karma sabhavajam. This is human civilization. We must train people in such a way that we must see that what is his quality. According to quality, just like a physician gives medicine according to the symptom of the disease, then it is cured. Not that any medicine. In the drug house, there are so many medicines. You cannot say any medicine will do. No. It is the physician who will pick up the real medicine and he will administer to the patient, then he will be cured. So this Varnashram Dharma means Chaturvarnam Maya system gunakan vibhakasa. From the animal position of the human being to bringing to the human position. That is Varnashram. Just like school, college, to become graduate means to become distinguished from the fools and rascals. Similarly, human being does not mean the struggle for existence as though one big fish is eating another small fish, another... No, that is not human. That is natural, but you have to rectify the natural position for realization of the utmost aim of life, that is human life. Not to treat like animals. Sayabo go khara. So, that spiritual consciousness begins when one understands that his soul is not this body, his spirit soul. Aham Brahmasmi. Brahma means the spirit soul. And there human civilization begins. Otherwise, anarja justam. Krishna, when Arjuna was declining to fight, he chastised him that this denial is anarja justam. It is befitting for the anarja, those who are not advanced. One must do his duty. You are a Kshatriya. Your duty is to fight, to give protection to the citizen. So why you are denying this? So here the example is given. Jalu kusang jali jadvat mahanta adanti. Adanti means swallows up. Similarly, when the Jodhus became very powerful, because they are descendants of Krishna, who can be? So they were fighting anywhere, conquering anywhere and everywhere. They are victorious. So that was Bhubhara. Bhubhara means burden of the world. When one becomes extravagant and misuses his power, that is burden of the world. You cannot misuse it. You get power by the grace of God, by grace of Krishna. If you misuse it, then you become a burden. A burden. As soon as there is burden, then iti dharmasya glani, Krishna says, jada jada hi dharmasya glani bhavati. As soon as there is misuse of power, tadatmanam srijamam, he comes. So Jaduvamsa, Krishna's dynasty, when Krishna saw that they are becoming so powerful that unnecessarily they are fighting, therefore to kill them, that fighting spirit was engaged for fighting amongst themselves one another. And therefore they are all. Fighting, there is necessity. But if you misuse that fighting spirit, just like at the present moment, the politicians, as soon as they see that they cannot manage things, in the country there is confusion, they declare some war, so that the whole attention may be turned that side and there will be no agitation of the internal dissatisfaction. This is diplomacy. This is diplomacy. We have seen it in Pakistan. As soon as they cannot rule over, they cannot, but that slogan, the Hindus are our enemy, the Kashmir has taken, but attention is diverted and they declare war and again become defeated. So, this kind of war is not required. This kind of war is not required. But war is there already, struggle for existence. Just like here, when Krishna saw that the Jodhu dynasty is becoming, on the strength of Krishna, they are becoming so powerful that they are unnecessarily fighting. So Krishna wanted that his family may not be degraded further. So he wanted to kill them. And who can kill them? No outsider can kill them. They are Krishna's descendants. That is not possible. Therefore, Jadubhi Ranannam Bhuvaram Samya. They fighting amongst themselves, they reduce the burden of the world. So it is, Krishna is exhibiting how things are going on. As soon as there will be burdensome, there will be some war, pestilence, famine, and finish. And finish. You don't require to reduce population by contraceptive method. By nature's way, the whole cell it will be reduced. Bhubhara, sanjar. By nature's way. Why should you commit sinful activities? You don't beget children unnecessarily and don't kill them. That is religion. That is civilization. Why should you unnecessarily produce children like cats and dogs? Their Shastra says that don't become father, don't become mother. If you cannot save your sons from death, this is the responsibility. This is father's, mother's responsibility. Namo chaedja samupita vittam pita nasasya janani nasasya. One should not try to become father. One should not try to become mother if the parents cannot save the child from imminent death. That is the responsibility. And who is that father? Who is that mother? This is Vedic civilization. My Guru Maharaj used to say that I am a sannyasi, I am not married, neither I am meant for marrying, but if I can produce Krishna conscious children, I can marry 100 times. That is the responsibility. Don't produce cats and dogs. Produce Krishna devotees, then you marry. Otherwise, don't marry. This is Vedic injunction. Marriage is not meant for sense gratification. Marriage is meant for producing nice children, Krishna devotees. So that is our aim. Our aim is not to produce cats and dogs. There are so many cats and dogs. The world is not happy. Now there is need of producing nice children, sober, gentle, devotee of Krishna, full brain, good character. These things are required. So, they were not unwanted children, these Jodhus. This is a mixture only. They came, they are all demigods. They descended just to fulfill the Krishna's mission. Krishna's mission, Krishna came down. So all the confidential servants of Krishna, they also appeared to help him in different. So when Krishna wanted to go, he wanted to go with the descendants also who came to help him. So this is make sure that the Jodhus fought amongst themselves. The real purpose is Krishna wanted to take them away. Otherwise, superficially, when one becomes unnecessarily powerful, disturbs the world situation, is a burden. Is a burden. That kind of burden is vanquished by Krishna's desire, will. There must be some catastrophe like war, pestilence, famine, and everything will be finished. So our duty is, the human form of life, duty is that we should know that we are eternal servant of Krishna, and forgetting our relationship, we have come to this material world, and there is struggle for existence, beginning aquatics, Jalajanamas, there are 900,000 species of aquatics. Who is that physiologist who can know 900,000 species of aquatics? But in the Shastra you'll find exactly, it doesn't say 901 or 899, no, 900,000 species there are. So, because we are in the material contact, and according to our desire, we are having different types of body, aquatics, trees, birds, like that. This is our botheration. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi, in this way we are. This is our problem. Therefore, human civilization means when people are interested to solve the problems. That is human civilization. Otherwise, animal struggle for existence. There is no human side, there is only animal side, struggle for existence. The human life is not for struggle, to become sober, not like animals. that the animals are engaged whole day and night for searching out food and sense gratification, sex. That is not human civilization. Human civilization is meant for tapasya. Tapasya. You should know what is my responsibility. Tapasa brahmacharjena samena damena va. One should learn how to practice tapasya. Tapasya. This is tapasya, little tapasya. No illicit sex, no gambling, no meat eating, and no intoxication. This is tapasya. Little tapasya. Who is dying? Without meat eating, we have got so many students, there are so many Vaishnavas, they do not eat meat. Are they dying? This is only bad habit. But if you practice little, in the beginning, it may be little troublesome. It is not troublesome. I am thinking just like one gentleman came. We cannot give up meat eating. I want, but I cannot. The practice. Abhyasa yoga yuktina chetusana. Anything you practice, habit is the second nature. So in association of the devotee, if you try to practice this tapasya, brahmacharjena, not to have sex life without any purpose, that is called brahmacharya. Brahmachari does not mean celibacy. Brahmachari means who does not use sex life for any other purpose than begetting nice children. That is brahmachari. So this is, everything should be systematic, otherwise there will be chaos. There will be chaos, nobody will be happy, and that is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Narakayava kalpate, the whole world will be hell. And that has become now. The whole world has now become hell. So, the Krishna consciousness movement is very important movement. It is overhauling the whole human, social, political, religious. So, those who are engaged in Krishna consciousness movement, they should be very, very responsible, sober, try to understand the situation and take the shelter of Krishna, and everything will come very successful. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Another wonderful lecture by Srila Prabhupada. So many points here to help improve our lives. So, dear devotees, this is the time that we usually have a discussion. You can meet yourself if you want to share some takeaways or ask some questions based on the lecture that's given, or some questions about Krishna consciousness in general. If you want to do that, that's fine. Wishing good afternoon, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. If you don't mind, you can start us off with some of your.
Please accept mine. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
I really appreciated Srila Prabhupada's beginning about differentiating, humans who are advancing in spiritual life as Aryans and two-handed, what appears to be humans, but are really still on the level of animal. Because, that verse that you quoted, or that's mentioned in the beginning of the purport, could have been used by some people to justify, Vedas say that the humans with the hands, those without hands are food for those with hands. They could say, that's Vedic, but that's a explanation or support for humans to eat animals. You follow? So
Definitely.
So Srila Prabhupada right in the beginning distinguished. No, that's referring to people who are uncivilized people, yes. But the civilized people, no, they don't do that. They follow the varnashram system and they take up austerity. So I like that. I thought that was really important. And another point Srila Prabhupada made was that all those uh, members of the Yadu dynasty were Krishna's family. They're demigods. So in the beginning of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a description of the demigods going to the shore of the ocean of milk and praying to Lord Vishnu, and then a message is transmitted from Lord Vishnu, Shiradakshaya Vishnu, to the heart of Brahma, and then that message he gives orally to the demigods, saying that Lord Krishna is coming very soon. He already knows the situation, and you should take birth on the earth to help him in his mission, and particularly in the Yadu dynasty. So there we have the demi. This is just confirming that point. And of course, there could be a little bit of confusion, because even though Lord Vishnu gave the direction that those demigods should take birth in the Yadu dynasty, or in on the earth at least, we see that still we have Brahma in Krishna's pastimes, separately, apparently not in the Yadu dynasty. You follow? And you have Indra in Krishna's pastimes. You have Shiva in Krishna's pastimes with the Banasura. You have Ganesh. You have Kartikeya. All those. So apparently, some of the demigods, they appeared as the in the Yadu dynasty, and the verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam is Angsha. They gave their expansions to. They sent their expansions that way. So that's an interesting point. Some of them may have gotten replacements for the time being and to take over their positions, but some of them just remained in their position and sent their expansions to participate as part of the Yadu dynasty. And then another point is, even the family of Krishna, even great demigods in the family of Krishna, getting power can make one carried away with that power and use it improperly or be corrupted by that. Even the family of Krishna, what to speak of us? So the lesson being, when we get a position of power, that position can go to our head sometimes. We can become callous and use it improperly against others. Even the family of Krishna, what to speak of ourselves? So those in a position of authority or power, it's really important to remain in a humble position as a servant of Krishna and focus on that especially. So with those of us who may have some authority, we have to be reminded. It's important for us to remind ourselves of that point. There's some ideas.
Thank you very much. Yeah, very important ideas. Very important. I wanted to ask Lord Brahma, you were saying that some of the demigods gave like an expansion of themselves, and those expansions came in the Yag dynasty. Was Lord Brahma also, did he do that to come?
That's a good question. I was trying to think about that during this Janmashtami, during this Janmashtami season, because we know that, well, Srila Prabhupada mentions that Samba was Kartikeya. Some say he was Kartikeya. Yeah, some say he's Kartikeya. Okay. But still, in the fight with between Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva over Banasura, Kartikeya was there fighting against the side of Krishna. But Samba was fighting on the side of Krishna. You follow?
So they are related and they still fought against each other.
Yeah. So the verse in the Sanskrit when Lord Vishnu orders the demigods, he says the verse includes the word angsha, and it's translated your expansion. Your expansion. So Ganesh was also there in that fight with Banasura and Lord Shiva. So Srila Prabhupada mentions in one purport that Pradyumna some say he was an expansion of Kamadev. Okay, some say he was Kamadev, not an expansion of Kamadev, and others say he was Sanat Kumar. I've never heard, and that doesn't mean that it's not there, that Lord Brahma, what his expansion was. But you have two choices. Either Brahma didn't expand himself, or he did, and I don't just know. I don't know who it is. You follow?
Yeah, some people are saying, though, I know one of your godbrothers is saying that Lord Brahma expanded as Aniruddha, but not Aniruddha for the Chaturvyuha, though. There was another Aniruddha, and that was him. That's
Aniruddha's as the grandson of Krishna.
I'm not sure whether he was a grandson, but the indication is that there were two Aniruddhas, one from the Chaturvyuha, and then this other one that's the expansion of Brahma. That's the way it was mentioned.
Okay,
Again, I'm just
so
quoting from,
yeah, it's certainly possible.
yeah.
I, of course, there had to be an expansion because Lord Brahma he didn't leave his post because we know he was involved in
Yeah.
the Brahma Vimohan Leela. And
Mm,
you could say that, in one sense, Indra expanded in a sense as Arjuna, and Vayu expanded as
being,
Bhima, etc., like that.
yeah.
So, but the order was given, and it's likely that the demigods, that's because they're Suras, they followed the order, but exactly
Mm,
which demigods became which persons in Krishna's Leela, I'm not sure. One could say
mm,
that the moon god expanded as Abhimanyu, like that.
mm. Yeah. Well, I don't know that there's much Shastra on this. We have to dig more of the different demigods and their names. That's no, in the Yadu dynasty. But yeah, quite a few came. Of course, it was Christians order that they come anyway. So
Yeah, so it's
many of them
likely
were there.
that they followed his order.
Oh, absolutely, they did. Hmm. That would be smart to follow his order anyways. I'm
They're going
sure
through all
they.
that trouble, and Krishna's okay. We
Yeah.
went to go to the ocean of milk. They all went there. They prayed, please help us, and they said, okay, here's what you do. So
Hmm.
certainly as you said, they did follow the order, and exactly
Yeah.
which ones, how that was. There's
That's those are details. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's yeah, they came and that's why also the Yadu dynasty was so difficult to defeat because these were like demigod expansions. Same reason Pandavas were also difficult to defeat because of their connection with the demigods. So on the earth, the demigods just overpower practically anything, any and everything because they are in charge of things that happen here anyway. So
Yes.
Krishna is giving them that much clout and that much ability. So
One of the Vasus became Bhishma.
yes, yes, one of the eight vasus. Yes, that was
It
Vishnu.
seems like Yamaraj came personally
Oh, really? In
because
the Yadu dynasty,
he was the son of Vyasadeva.
Vidura.
Yeah, he was Vidura,
Yeah.
but he had to get a replacement in the meantime. But that was for another reason. So there's kind of couple purposes going on there.
Mm, mm.
So then one
Yeah.
could ask, but it seems like Vidura came a little early than the rest.
True. True. But that
So
happens quite a bit. There are some when an important personality comes, there are some who come before him, some who come with him, and some who come
yes,
after
yes,
him.
yes,
Advaita Acharya came before Lord Chaitanya, so
yes. So
those
so
things happen. Yeah.
was the impetus for Vidura to come the curse or the order by Lord Vishnu to come, or both?
I, I wanted to be honest, I wouldn't go there. I was thinking he himself wanted to see Krishna because all of that, the job that that he undertakes, dealing with punishing uh, without, and he's pure at heart, and he doesn't get much association of Krishna because of what he does, in Yamaloka. So he was craving the darshan of Krishna. That was also one of the reasons he came, even
Okay.
though it was done through a curse.
Yes.
Anyway, it's all very interesting. Krishna consciousness is very much alive because of all of these different intricacies that's in there. It makes it. better than watching anything else. In my opinion, my humble opinion. Hare Krishna. Any other questions or comments? Devotee, please unmute yourself and join in the conversation. Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll throw some of my takeaways from this. This is a very nice lecture. Even though the lecture itself, the translation was about the survival of, the Yadu dynasty, the stronger ones killed the weaker ones, and so on. And that's it. Krishna was behind that. And Srila Prabhupada explained, even here in the world, it's survival of the fittest. Everybody's struggling for existence, but it's also survival of the fittest. Mm-hmm. The living entity lives by eating another living entity. Mm-hmm. And then he made a point, and this is the point that Srila was brought up that was very, very, very important. The first point, those with hands, humans, they can, feed on or eat those without hands, the animals. So that's like sanctioning meat eating, when in fact the higher form of living is in fact man should eat vegetables. But that's why he also categorized it the way. I don't really want to go back and repeat what Chichigura has said. He's already said it, so I'll just move on. The humans were not civilized, are considered animals. Then he mentioned the Aryans. Hitler said the Germans were Aryans, but Aryan really means being advanced in Krishna consciousness. So the devotee becomes an Aryan then, by hearing and living according to Krishna consciousness. So real evolution, he mentioned Darwin also, because he was talking about evolution theory. But real evolution is to become civilized. Law of nature says the weaker is devoured by the stronger. To become human means to have culture. And when you come to the platform of Krishna consciousness, then the culture kicks in, and Krishna says we have to have an ashram. 4 systems, the order of Chaturvana system, Gunakama Bhagasa. So that was, he quoted that. Material life means being detached from Krishna. Varnashram is a way for everybody to come to the level of Krishna consciousness. Now in ISKCON we have Devi Varnashram, which means that we are being trained in Krishna consciousness. Then we can perform our material duties also, in different material duties, but still be Krishna conscious. So he made the point, being detached from God is the cause of suffering in this world, because we are different parts and parcels of God, therefore we should act accordingly. So people should be trained to do the right thing, just like a physician gives the medicine for curing. So the implication here is that people are actually uncivilized, and they have to be trained in a sick condition, mentally sick condition, just like a physician gives for physically sick condition in medicine for curing. And so spiritual consciousness begins with the knowledge that you're not this body. So when you get power by the grace of Krishna and you misuse the power, then you become a burden. And this is how he brought in the Yadu dynasty. They were very powerful, and they were misusing it. So Krishna planned that they would eliminate each other. In that way, they will reduce the burden of the world. So as soon as burden comes, there will be war, pestilence, and other things like that, negative things, in order to reduce the population. That is nature's way. And he says you don't have to have abortion and those kind of things. No, nature actually reduces the population if they act in a very negative way. So this is what's going on around us. The only place that I've heard that gives a reason, the underlying reason for war. This is the only place, personally, that I've heard that explains like that. And there is some correlation that's there. The way the people are, the way they are, and the fact that the war breaks out in that area. Usually, more motor ignorance areas are where wars actually start. Now, this may be a big statement and some people won't agree to it, but if you watch very closely and see what is going on and how people behave in certain places, you see that it's only a matter of time that Krishna allows some sort of disturbance to take place, and then it just breaks out to war. Mm? And then in that, some of the people are, the burden is reduced. Some of the people who are very, very negative in acting, they don't get protected in those wars. They get killed, and then they're gone. Mm? Some people may say Krishna, and that's a little bit very severe on the part of Krishna to have people leave like that. Mm? I remember his Ravindrasu, who made one point in the Rath Yatra, Gitanagri, discussion time after the festival, and he was kind of laughing through it, but he made a point that was quite profound. He said, Krishna does not look at death the way we look at death. Krishna knows when a person dies, it doesn't mean they're gone. Physical body has ceased to be used, but the person is very much alive because he's a soul. Even the subtle body is still active. Mm-hmm. So what happens is that the physical body being gone, then whatever negative thing the person was doing, they can't do it anymore. That's stopped. This is the reason that Krishna killed a lot of demons too, because the demons were causing wholesale trouble. And when he kills them, then immediately the area gets relieved from that effect of that particular demon. So that's how Krishna looks at death. We are not the body. The soul will not die. If there's a situation that makes it difficult here, then Krishna sometimes will use death by disease, by disturbances, the weather, or by war to actually cut down the population. Not only that, but also the problems that are caused. Mm? We don't want to get into politics because this isn't necessarily about politics, but if you know enough of it, you will see the correlation very easily. Mm? So anyway, so when Srila Prabhupada was talking about the different varnas, he also mentioned for brahmacharis especially, and then also for grihastas. Mm? First, one should not become a parent or guru if they cannot deliver their offspring or disciple. They cannot deliver them, meaning that make them Krishna conscious so they can begin their path back to Godhead. Mm? Marriage is for producing nice children to fulfill, to become Krishna conscious or to continue the Krishna consciousness. Mm? He talked about demigods and other confidential servants coming to help Krishna in the Jata dynasty. And when Krishna desired to leave, then he wanted to go with them. And therefore, the civil war was planned ultimately by him. He was behind it, even though some of his family members were upfront in causing the problems that finally, ended up in the civil war. They killed each other, but then they got released to go back to the spiritual world. He says animal life is sense gratification. We have 8,400,000 type species. He spent some time talking about the aquatic 900,000 species in the water. And he says what scientists know. It is not 900,001 or eight, just minus one, 899,999,000, but 900,000. Talking about how specific the information given from the Vedas, is. So we're struggling in these bodies. Animal life is for sense gratification. And in human life, there must be tapasya. And that is very, very important information for us. There must be tapasya. For our tapasya, rising early, cleaning oneself, chanting the holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna mantra, and also obeying the regulative principles, which actually give peace of mind and brings us to the human platform. The four regulative principles do that. They will give us peace of mind because if we don't obey some regulative principles, then disturbance comes. Mm-hmm. If you're promiscuous, then you're wide open to sexually transmitted diseases or children that you don't have the way to care for them properly, then you'll have unwanted children, or worse, abortions. meat eating, this body is designed for vegetables. Intoxication ruins the body, the liver, and then like that. So all of these the principles, they actually following them gives more peace of mind. If you gamble, you're going to lose money. So it's like that. But it also brings us to the human platform. So Brahmacharya, he said, it's not um, just the way it is. He added another definition to it, which in fact even is true for grihastas too. He says real brahmacharya means using sex life for begetting nice children, which means grihastas that have children. The woman becomes pregnant, gets children, and both parents raise the child in Krishna consciousness. And outside of the pregnancy, they don't involve sexually. They are living a brahmacharya life too. In fact, in another place, it said it's even more of a brahmacharya consciousness if a grihasta uses sex life only for children than even the brahmacharis who are just basically not married and staying away from sex life also. So that was his definition. They extended the definition of brahmacharya based on sex life and its use. Mm-hmm. So everything should be systematic. So Prabhupada ended this. If it's not, then there will be chaos. Mm-hmm. And nobody will be happy. And so the Krishna consciousness movement is a very important movement. He said it's overhauling the whole social and political religious system here. So those who are engaged in Krishna consciousness, they should be very, very responsible and stay sober and also try to understand the situation. This is the last line. The situation in this world, and then take shelter of Krishna, then everything will become wonderful. So, as only Srila Prabhupada preaches like this, such very, very important and life-changing. Every time you hear a lecture from Srila Prabhupada, it's taking it up to another level of understanding what life is about. And that just applying it in our lives, then we become much better, more Aryan, or close to being Aryan. Hare Krishna. Any questions or final comments from anyone? If not, then we'd like to thank you for coming on. Srila Prabhupada always, 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 always gives us opportunity to grow more in consciousness. And if we apply it, we become better people. So in the midweek, days are going quite fast, but have a nice Krishna conscious week and weekend when it comes up. Vanchakalpatarubhishcha kripa sundhibhya evacha ptitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vaishnav Thakur ki jai, Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Jai.